Well. First of all, I want to say to Mr. English Rob, thank you for that thought-provoking speech. I can see why my two daughters think so highly of you. If only you were an easier marker, you'd be the perfect teacher. Good evening, friends and family, parents, teachers and staff, honored guests, that means you, Ms. Reddy, and the graduating class of 2014. It is a tremendous privilege and honor, and when I look around at all the parents in this room, I'm truly humbled to represent the parents of the graduating class. Thank you for this incredible opportunity, despite the weeks of stress, waking up in the middle of the night, and extreme nausea caused by the very thought of giving this speech. I once wanted to become valedictorian. This hope was quickly dashed when they told me that you actually have to graduate to qualify. So this extreme honor is the next best thing. Before I address and congratulate the graduating class, I'd first of all like to acknowledge some very special people. If it was not for their contributions, we would not be here tonight. First, to Ms. Ruddy, Mrs. Keeley, Mr. Johnson, Ms. Harvey, and your team of ever so dedicated teachers and staff at York House School. Each and every one of you, we the parents would like to extend a sincere and heartfelt thank you. Thank you. I'll tell you when to talk. Thank you for your commitment, for your passion, for your tireless efforts of working with our daughters. Thank you for devoting countless hours, demanding and accepting nothing short of the very best from our daughters. You didn't simply educate them, you inspired them. You believed in them, and by doing so, you brought out the best in them. You set a standard of excellence for them to follow. By being their teacher, their coach, their conductor, by being the organizer and chaperone on all those amazing trips, by being their counselor, their university admission advisor, their yearbook coordinator, and above all, by being their friend and their mentor. You have helped shape our daughters into the competent, confident young ladies that they are today. Your dedication, your commitment has left an impression on our daughters that they will carry for the rest of their lives, and I believe will help them in their journey in life. And for that, we the parents owe you a debt of gratitude. So parents, now, please give them a well-deserved round of applause. $4,162. That's the number of times we drove to York House School to drop up and pick up our daughters over the last 13 years. The second group that I need to acknowledge is you, the parents. Now, Lisa and I have been at York House School for 15 years. Now, I know this pales in comparison to the 30 years that Harold Goodwin would put in by the time he's done. But based on our 15 years, we can honestly say that the parents in this room are the most supportive, the most caring, the most dedicated group of parents that we have seen at York House School. We have witnessed parents in this room that have literally volunteered thousands, not hundreds, thousands of hours, organizing, calling, emailing, meeting, hosting, canning and baking for the holiday market, sorting for the annual market, cooking for the public speaking competition, and doing everything possible to ensure that our daughter's experience at York House School was the best possible experience. We know that there are parents in this room that have made personal sacrifices to ensure that every one of us, both students and parents, both newcomers and lifers alike, that all of us feel welcome and part of the York House community. And I do not know of any parent in this room that alienated, that isolated, that ostracized me when I called them as part of the annual fund team to solicit their donations. For up to 13 years, We shared in the struggles and joys of watching our daughters grow up into beautiful young women. And during that time, we parents became friends. We came together as a community. We relied on each other as our pillar of strength. And for that, I think we owe ourselves a round of applause. $171,708. That's the amount of money we invested in our York House tuition over the past 13 years, not including your generous donations to the annual fund team. And I hate to say this to you, Harold, but this figure will continue to grow with each passing year. To the graduating class of 2014, words alone cannot begin to express how proud we are of you today. Much like the elation that we experienced when you took your first steps, or the extreme pride that we will feel when we walk you down the aisle on your wedding day, we parents cannot help but be proud of you as you reach this significant milestone. You had an opportunity to attend a great school. You seized that opportunity and turned it into an incredible accomplishment. As we watched you study, as we watched you prepare for each test, each project, each speech, each game, each concert, we were astonished by your commitment, your determination, your perseverance, and your relentless drive to be the best that you can be. But we're not just proud of your accomplishments. More so, we are proud of who you have become. You have become responsible, respectful, hardworking, contributing members of our society. You have become the type of girl that York House was actually founded on. Your hard work, your determination has allowed you to become girls who pursue academic excellence. Your willingness to stand and walk in someone else's shoes has allowed you to become girls who respect, who appreciate, who even celebrate your individual differences. And by developing your own personal conviction on what will make this world a better place, you have become a girl who's developed a sense of responsibility for the global community. Despite your demanding schedules, each of you have made it a personal priority to stay connected and give back to the community. Whether it was being a student and tutoring students in after-school care, or ushering new parents as a student ambassador, or baking for the women's shelter, or volunteering at the food bank, or even traveling all the way to Uganda to help build a school, you girls lived out the school motto of not for ourselves alone. Now I have to tell you this little story. I was debating whether I should do this or not. But I remember when Vanessa was in grade 2. This was back in the time when I was still allowed to walk her into the school. I proudly walked her into the junior school. I unpacked her shoes, I threw the bag into the covered garbage can, and I rushed her off to class. Well, if you know Vanessa, the girl who to this very day has touched the garbage can maybe 5 times in her life, without any hesitation, reached into the garbage can, pulled out the bag, and told me that we had to recycle it. At that point, I realized that York House School is producing some of the finest young women of our society. And sitting here tonight are 64 of the finest young women about to graduate from York House School. Make no mistake, you girls have earned the recognition that you received today. Your hard work, your character have earned you this recognition. And the whole world is before you. You have an opportunity to continue on this journey, to find your calling, and to make a difference in your lives, the lives of those around you, and the world at large. When you look at the world today and the challenges it faces, when you consider the advancements they've made in computer, wireless and internet technology, the breakthroughs they made in the field of medicine, and you couple all of this with the fact that it's so easy to communicate with the masses, you would realize that you have an incredible opportunity to make an impact on this world. But it won't be easy. When you get out into this world, you're going to find that the establishment, that the media, that the world at large are going to force you to focus on those things that divide us. Without you even realizing it, they're going to force you to focus on confrontation, on competition, political polarization, on conflicts, wars, and disagreements. And as much as I agree that we need to acknowledge that there are things that divide us, I believe that you will be better served if you focus on those things that unite us. By focusing on the things that will unite your school, your community, your city, your nation, you will experience more fulfillment and have a greater impact on the world. No matter what career path you choose, your intelligence, your incredible work ethics, your willingness to see the world through someone else's eyes, and your convictions will allow you to identify and influence those who are powerful, but more importantly, allow you to identify and speak for those who are powerless. Learn to reason clearly. Learn to think independently. Learn to solve diligently. Learn to communicate effectively. And I guarantee you that this world will be a better place. In the minds of each and every parent here tonight, in the minds of the teachers and staff of York House School, we have absolutely no doubt that each one of you will continue to be successful. Seize this opportunity with the same determination and the same vigor that you showed at York House School, and that in itself will make you successful. Two is the number of sleepless nights we parents endured while our daughters were camping outside in the cold rain during the Garibaldi outdoor trip. Thank goodness it was shortened from 3 days to 2. York House schoolgirls have been your home for many years, for some of you up to 13 years. Over the next 2 weeks, you will walk through the doors of York House School for what could very well be your very last time. You will journey outside the safe walls of York House School, and you will journey out of the security of your own homes into a somewhat cold and unforgiving world. But you will take with you cherished, fond and cherished memories. You will take with you an education and an experience that defines you. And you will take, above all, a greater, deeper appreciation of what it means to be a friend to the classmates, teachers, and friends that you found at York House School. Treasure these friends. Nurture these friendships, because they will become your support community. These friends and classmates are your living connection to York House School. They are a gift from your time at York House School, a lifetime gift that will prove to be valuable in the years to come. As a parent, I have to confess and admit that this time has been bittersweet. It's sweet, obviously, because we were so proud that you've all matured and developed into confident, independent adults. But it's bitter or it's sad because time has passed so quickly, and we know with each passing year that you will have a growing tendency to think of us parents as less relevant and out of touch with the world. With each passing year, you will have a tendency to confine us even less than you do now. So when that happens, I want you to remember these 3 simple points. It's the same 3 points that I reminded Amanda, Miriam, Laura Baker, and Ariana in the graduating class of 2012. First, I believe I speak on behalf of all the parents here when I say we really only want the very best for you. Secondly, I know that I speak on behalf of every parent here when I say that we will always be there for you, regardless of what road you choose. And most importantly, I speak on behalf of a handful of parents here when I say that our checkbook and our wallet is always open to you. If you know how our daughter Vanessa spends, you will know that Lisa and I are committed to this last group of parents for life. Vanessa seems to think that spending money is a form of recycling. She says that spending money stimulates the economy and creates jobs. So thank you, Mr. Roos, for prolonging our working careers. Before I close, I want to leave you with one final statistic. Throughout my address, I gave you some statistics that you girls may think are sacrifices made by your parents for you. Well, I'm here tonight to tell you that they are not sacrifices. They are mere tokens of our love and our commitment to you. And this last statistic is one that we parents hold dear to our hearts, and we hope that you girls will treasure and hold dear to your hearts. Final statistic is one. No matter where life may take you, no matter how many problems or what problems you're facing, or whether you just need a shoulder to lean on, one is the number of times that you will have to call before we come running to your side. We are only one phone call away, regardless of how irrelevant we may become, because we will always be there for you. In closing, I'm almost there. I remind you all, you girls, that the journey has just begun. There are many days ahead of you, a lot of good days, and there will be some bad days. There will be setbacks, there will be disappointments. And to put those days into perspective, I leave you with a quote that I strive to live by. Don't judge your days by the harvest you reap, but judge them by the seeds that you sow. As York House graduates, live your lives not for yourselves alone. We love you always. We're so proud of you. Parents, please join me in congratulating our daughters, the graduating class of 2014. I know everybody sit down. I know I've overstayed my welcome, but I have one more piece of business to do. On behalf of the graduating class, on behalf of the parents of the graduating class, I'd like to take this opportunity to recognize and salute the contributions of a very special individual, a person who's dedicated time, talent, passion, a vocation, energy, and 20 years to making York House School a world-class school. During these past 20 years, this person has helped the school raise over $50 million and oversaw 2 major capital renovations for the benefit of York House girls for many generations to come. But this person's true legacy is more than the buildings and the programs. This person's true legacy are the lives of all the girls that are touched by the example and the leadership that this person displayed each and every day for the last 20 years. Girls may not realize it at this time, but when they look back, they will appreciate the profound and positive influence that this person had on their lives. Over the last 20 years, 1,073 girls will have graduated from York House School, and this person knew each and every one by name. And this year's class is especially special, because this will be the last graduating class that this person will be presiding over. So friends and family, parents, teachers and staff, and the graduating class of 2014, please join me in welcoming to the stage our retiring headmaster, our friend, Miss Gail Ruddy. Can Gail please come up?
Thank you, everyone. I have to tell you, Stan's quite intimidated because in the days when we were first starting our traffic patrol, there was someone that kept parking on 26. And so one day, Eve Hunnings, Kathy Keeley, and I went over, and we stood there by this car, until the owner came back. And guess who it was? It was Mr. Stanley. It has been my absolute pleasure and privilege to work with you and your daughters. Thank you so much.